Hello, everyone. Welcome to an all new show of Mega Architectural Mantras. We are going to talk about BIM as a very essential tool that you would be requiring to escalate your career to bigger heights. How important is this tool? BIM is one tool which will give you an extra edge to your career. Let us understand this, tool, how important it is, where is it going to take you in the next 5 to 10 years. In today's session, we are going to have a guest speaker who's going to talk to you about BIM as a software. He has been an expert in this field and he has been going worldwide, imbibing his knowledge to people about this software as a whole. So, we are going to invite Mr. Ravi Rewards. He's an expert BIM manager in architecture with projects across US, Canada, Middle East, Singapore, and India. He specializes in BIM execution and implementation across large scale projects, including infrastructure, residential, hospitals, commercials, and retails. His astute acumen and proven track record in handling large teams to optimize resources and successfully deliver BIM projects has helped projects become more profitable to both the clients and companies. His possession to innovate new processes and technology in BIM continues to help transform challenges to opportunity and problems to successful solution. Hey, hello Ravi, how are you doing?
Great, Arindam. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, and we had been trying to be, in touch for this, little chat together for a long time, and finally we could make up the time for this thing. It's very much necessary because it's planned to bring up this entire software of BIM to the public over here in India, to the users over here in India, to the young budding architects in India, and they must know that exactly what is the main useful points for this software that they should know. How important the software is for the future of the young minds in India. So, and I would like you to, give a small introduction about exactly how you started on with everything, especially BIM as a software, how you started with that.
Awesome. I think that's a really good question, Arindam. So, I mean, I know we met, we know each other since college days, but the thing
Yes.
is, after college, I moved to US. I did my master's, and I've been working in US for the last 15 years or so. So this will kind of date me, but essentially, I'm like a collaborator and innovator. I'm one of the best BIM managers in the world, and what
Wow.
it means is, yeah, I mean,
Yes.
tell me, I've worked across the world.
Yeah.
Um, you can look up my
I've
conferences.
been going through all your work, Ravi, and I must say that they are just fantastic, and every way you're taking up things with the people around the globe. It's been fantastic. The way you have been addressing people about this entire software, the trainings that you have been giving throughout has been fantastic. I've been always following those stuff.
And not just that, the good thing has been for me, I've been very lucky in terms of the projects I've been able to do. I've even currently I do around 3 to 4 different airports at a time, 10, 15 different hospitals. I've done, you name it, mixed use residences, $1 billion projects, data centers, software campuses. I mean, even in India, I've done software campuses which were more than $150 million, so more than 1,000 crore projects. So what that gives us, and a variety of projects I've done. In fact, I've done houses in Singapore, which were for 4,000 HDPs. They call it the low income or economic houses. And at the same time, I've done houses in US, which one single house is probably like 40,000 square feet, and the cost of one house is more than $100 million. So what I'm trying to tell is a single family home of 700 crores. Imagine what goes in. They have their own lakes, they have their own gardens. So it's a wide variety of projects I've done. And I've done all of them in BIM. So this is not just for people to know about the software or the process, but in general architecture. I mean, which other architect in India gets these kind of opportunities in the first 10 years of their career? And I've not even mentioned all the projects I did in Europe or Middle East. I did
Right.
some hospitals there. We built a 500-acre garden in the middle of a desert in Saudi Arabia. So I've been to all these
That's
places.
that's humongous. That's the scale that you can talk about. Yeah, I would really love to, look at your projects, but at a later stage we'll discuss about your projects. But today we are discussing about, BIM as a software, and I would first like you to, talk to our viewers about what this software exactly holds up, for this entire, world of architecture, for the future of the world. If we talk about, how we can create things in architecture through these softwares, what are the USPs of the software if we compare it to any other software that we have been using for the past, so many years?
So, I think that's a really good question. But the thing is, BIM is not a software. It's a process. It's a process to do things differently using. It could be any software. It could be with any company's software, but it's not the software that's important because software is going to get outdated in 6 months. The bigger picture is the process. And if you see, what Frank Lloyd Wright said, God lies in the details. So BIM gives that opportunity to design in the details. If you see the things about good architects designing in plans and elevations, whereas Frank Lloyd said design in sections. Less is more, mise van der Rohe. So these are the things that BIM does for you. How it does is, instead of you designing a plan or drawing something with pen or paper or AutoCAD, those are all two-dimensional. They are essentially like if I'm asking you to show you a picture to me, that doesn't tell me the person you are. It's a three-dimensional person with a lot of a heart and a mind and a soul of its own, right? So same thing goes for BIM as well. It's not just a picture or a plan or elevation. You can design in 3D. You can have all the information. You can build in things like automation, things, all the information that goes into the life cycle of a building. From and the life cycle begins from inception, the cradle to the handover. So those are the things. The last piece I mentioned, less is more. What happens when people are using AutoCAD and other softwares, with a two-dimensional software essentially, is a lot of things get lost in translation. People lose a lot of money due to errors in construction. There is an estimate that around 15% of construction cost goes in waste because of errors. So BIM kind of helps, is a process where you're defining proper goals, you're doing things the right way, you're doing them at the right time. So it defines and saves you the money and the energy and resources. So that's how you do less and get more results. So less is more, but with BIM, it's a totally different paradigm.
Yeah, rightly said. Because if I talk about me experiencing BIM for the very first time was in 2011 when we were actually working for this one project in Delhi Aero City, and we were working for the Pullman Novotel Hotel in the Aero City. And at that point of time, it was a big scale project, and the entire project had a BIM model for it, and we could very easily figure out how the services are running, how the structure is working out with the services, and things could be understood really well over there. And I think that was the edge that we were getting at that point. If I Please tell me if I'm not an expert with BIM, so
No, you're right. So, you know, earlier the workflow or the process was people would design in like 2 dimensions and then build a 3D Max model for rendering,
right.
or any other software like that, SketchUp, it could be anything. So what happens is in the process of BIM, when it's a large scale project, because the stakes are high, the clients and the collaborators need to make sure they are using the
Yes.
best process. And when they are doing so, let me talk about the 7Ds of BIM. So we talk about 2 dimensions, we talked about the 3 dimensional, like the built environment, but the fourth dimension is time. The project has to be done on time. So can you integrate when a door is going to come from a factory somewhere on time to be built outside and not cause a delay of 2 days? So those are the things we looked in fourth dimension to integrating the 3D model with
That's
time.
so important. That's so important because actually that's proportional to the money which is getting into the project. The flow of
Time
money
is
which is
money.
getting. Yes,
Yeah, time is
and
money.
with the large scale projects, if there is a delay of 15 days, it costs you lakhs of rupees. With these big
Oh,
scale projects.
I mean, the projects we are dealing in 15 days would be hundreds of millions of dollars. So,
Absolutely, absolutely.
but the going back to your question, you mentioned about seeing all the services in play. What happens is we are able to do something called as coordination, clash coordination. What it
Right.
does is even before something is built, we can see if two things are not clashing.
Absolutely. So that's the main function where we are using. That's why BIM has come into place to look at
Yes.
all the clash coordination and so that that saves a lot of time. Saves a lot of money of the client. And to look into the fact that nothing is going into that error phase. So Ravi, I would like you to elaborate on the fourth dimension on a bit more so that our viewers can understand exactly what this fourth dimension is all about.
So fourth dimension, as we saw, it's about the time, integrating the building, the construction process, the handover, everything to a timeline. Time is money, as we saw. Time saved. And if projects go beyond time, beyond the timelines, it's a cost, as well as it causes a lot of headache for everyone. The fifth dimension, if you see, is money. you know Money is the bottom line for everything. If there's no money, there's no project. So we can even integrate, okay, what the cost of each element. Let's say there is a piece of furniture, or if it's a column that's going to be built, what's the cost of it? We can get the quantities. So all the pre-construction gets done at a more precise manner. We have all heard that people get a budget, but then the budget exceeds, or the client doesn't have the money then. So here what we do is we use something known as IPD, integrated project delivery. Basically, what it does is we plan the project way behind, way at the inception, so the cost, the timing, and all those things are taken care of. So there are no surprises in the project. That's the first five dimensions. These days, we even have something known as sixth dimension and the seventh. Um, we all do something known as climatology studies. How much energy can be saved, how much daylight can be brought into a project, how can we build more better acoustic buildings, those kind of things. And the good thing is, in AutoCAD you still have to do all these calculations by pen and paper. Here in the three-dimension environment, the software can actually run these calculations for us. So once the software is building better buildings, that's a better, you have one client who wants to build two projects, one through two-dimension process, and it'll be a lot of headache, less, more money. It'll get done in a longer time frame, and he gets lesser value because there are lesser calculations done. On the other hand, you have a project that gets smooth, streamlined process. So that's the sixth dimension, and the last is seventh dimension, which is handover of a project. When we build a project, that's the starting of the life of a project, not the end of it. So it gets handed over, and how the facility managers can take care of the building from there. Those are the seven dimensions. I know I went for a little longer than I should, but I wanted people to know that that's the world out there. That's how buildings are being built. And I would really encourage, especially students who are wanting to learn. I myself am a lifelong student of architecture, so I believe in continual improvement. And that's the same thing with BIM as well. People are looking to build on what they have and improve themselves continuously. And that's the same thing if somebody is starting off in this field, they should look to continually improve themselves.
That's a very valuable thing that you have right now, just mentioned, Ravi. That an architect is a lifelong student. He is always in that process of learning new things, new stuffs coming up in the market, and updating themselves with everything which is happening in the market. And that's what I also kind of speak to all the young budding architects nowadays, that it's not the day that you have completed your architecture course. The day even if you are 5 years down the lane, completing your architecture course, you still need to learn everything, and you're still a student, and you will every day you're going to come up with new things, solving new things, and you need to learn about new things. And that's where we are holding this session today, so that they understand something new, what is
True.
the importance of this thing, and how important it is to learn these tools to understand architecture better.
That's a very valid point, Arindam. I really like that. And the other thing is, once you learn something, you can go and teach them to the whole world. I've taken part in conferences. I guess get called as a speaker. I've spoken in Sweden. I've spoken in Singapore. I've spoken in Hong Kong. I speak at various conferences across US and Canada every year. Many other places in Europe as well. And I've been out of the school not too long, so I've a great career ahead, and that's what I wanted to tell people, that learn things and try and go and explore the world. It's one adventure in the waiting, if you go out and really explore not just the world, but the process within, to being a better designer and architect, because then you'll be able to contribute to the world at a stage that's unparalleled.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Ravi? And how is it actually entering a country like India? What would be the demand that you feel would be necessary in a country like India in the next 5 to 10 years?
That's a very good question, Andaman. I like that question. The thing is, see, I'm not an expert on what might happen in India, and I really do not want to go there. It's not my perspective. It doesn't impact me. What impacts me is what I can learn, what I can do better for the world.
Right.
So I try to focus on things like, okay, what's the next best thing on the next best project that I can create. If it's in a particular geography, great. So that's how I think a lot of people should think for themselves first, that okay, it doesn't matter what might happen in the economy. It's more about what you can do, how much better you can be, because the best remains the best in all situations.
No, I think these were very useful points that you had actually highlighted, and I think we can come up with another session where we can actually put forward to our viewers that exactly as a software what BIM can do for you stage wise. We can give them a presentation, and if necessary, we can also hold a small workshop for people who might be interested over here. So I think I would also like to ask our viewers who are watching this show that if you're really interested in this kind of a workshop to understand exactly what BIM is as a tool, please comment us and let us know. If we really find that we are getting a lot of interested people who would like to know this software in depth, we can actually arrange something where everybody can get benefited. uh,
True. And actually, just to add to that, yes, we'll have those sessions in the future. I'm always here to help the next generation to pass on the depth of gratitude. But the thing is, we'll also add in some links to some of the classes I recently gave in Autodesk University
okay,
conference, a couple of them.
yes,
Both are very important. One is about design project management, and the other one is about digital technology leadership.
yes.
Very good sessions.
Yes, so Ravi is going to share the link with me, and you can find the link with the description of this video. Just get into the description of this video, and you can find all the links over there. to all the sessions that Ravi had been conducting, and they are very useful. And I'm sure you people are going to get a lot of insights from getting into those sessions. Uh,
True.
yeah,
Also, going about the software, one thing I know we were discussing before is how students can access or develop these skills in that software or the process, So, most of these companies, they give these softwares free to students. If it is SketchUp or any Autodesk product, they are all free for students. So I really
wonderful.
urge, yeah. So why not use it when it's free? Otherwise it costs a lot more. Asking one
Professionally, it costs a lot more. If you want to get it for your firm, if you're running your own firm, that will cost a lot. But if you're a student, that you're going to get that advantage.
yeah, and it's a good time to learn as well. In school. So
So, Ravi,
uh,
what about freshers? Just young architects who have just passed out of the college and they want to learn the software. Are there any kind of subsidies for getting these softwares? Uh, any version that you can actually look into where they can learn these softwares?
the good thing is, I don't think there is these days. You don't need any tutorials. Everything is available online.
Yes,
And it's most of it's open source data available. So if somebody wants to learn, it's just a click away.
true, true. So I think if you can just share some of the links that how we can get access to these things, we'll just put it in the description, and I think our young minds can actually explore them well. So
Perfect. And yeah, and the two sessions, I'll send them the links, and if we can get some comments and people to learn something out of it, I think that will be the true value that we can all, gain together out of it.
okay. Thanks a lot, Ravi. I think that was very interesting, and just to get a hold of exactly what this tool is all about. And I'm sure that our viewers now have a clear understanding of exactly how BIM works for you. In creating better architecture in place, and how you can actually excel yourself also as a professional by knowing these tools. So thanks a lot, Ravi, for joining into this session, and it was very valuable. I think our this video is going to be very very valuable for all the viewers on this channel. Mega Architectural Mantras is really thankful for you that you came across, spent your time, over to uh, enlighten our viewers with all the knowledge that you have.
Oh, same here, Arindam. Thank you for having me here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And, as we said, it's all about innovation and inspiring others to work together to make a better tomorrow, for a better future, better world together. So, I hope this is inspiring for everyone. And if there's anything I can be of help uh, to to new upcoming architects, I'll be glad to
Yeah,
be there
so
for them.
I'll also be putting forward the LinkedIn, link for Ravi, and people who would like to get professionally in touch with Ravi can, access the link to his LinkedIn profile and get in touch with him. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So thanks a lot, Ravi. I think that was a wonderful session with you, and hope to get some more sessions from you in the future.
Awesome. Awesome, Marindam. Thank you.
Take care. Take care.